Okay, today the only thing different is we're going to have to do some rearranging, and the rearranging comes from that we have to have the quadratic equation set equal to 0. So again, that quadratic formula is the negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Well, where does the a and b and c come from again? Remember, that's from the coefficients in front of the x squared, the b, and the c. Most importantly, the equation must be set equal to 0. So in this problem, you can see how the equation is not set equal to 0. So what you would need to do is add 52 to both sides. That would give you 3x squared minus 2x plus 52 equals 0. Now you can figure out your a, b, and c. Your a is 3, your b is negative 2, and your c is 52. Before beginning, if all numbers can be divided by a common factor, divide each before naming the a, b, and c. It will make things so much easier. So like on this problem, we could divide everything by 4, and then we can name our a to be 1, we could name our b to be 4, and we could name our c to be 2. It deals with such smaller numbers that it'll make a lot less work for us. Number 1 problem today. The first thing I notice is that they are not all divisible by something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides so I can get started. 3x squared plus 4x minus 10 equals 0. So now I can name my a as 3, my b as 4, and my c as negative 10. The formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. So when I plug stuff in, I get negative 4 plus or minus, it'd be 4 squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So I get negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 16. Well, I'm going to look at my negatives here. I've got negative times negative, so positive 40. 40 times 3 is 120 all over 6. That gives me negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 136 all over 6. Does 136 break down? I know 2 goes into it evenly because it's an even number. That would be a 60, let's see, 136 divided by 2, 68. 68 can be broken down into 2 times 34. So I have a pair, and then 2 times 34 can be broken, or 34 can be broken down to 2 times 17. So we really just have negative 4 plus or minus 2 square root of 34 all over 6. Each of these are divisible by 2, so I can make this a 2, this cancels to be a 1, and this would be a 3. So I'd get negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 36, or 34 all over 3. My second example here, I don't have this in the right order. I need my x squared term. I'm going to have to move my x term over, so I want that next. And then I have my 7. So make sure they're in order. X squared, then the x, then the number. The a is 5, the b is negative 2, and the c is negative 7. So when I plug it in the formula, negative b, I have 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which would be 4. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4, plus or minus 4 times a times c all over. Oh, I made a mistake here. I'm so sorry. Let me just back up here. I've got b squared, which would be negative 2 times negative 2, minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times a. This gives me 2 plus or minus. This would be 28 times 5, which would be 140. So I'm getting 4 plus 140 all over 10. This gives me 2 plus or minus the square root of 144 over 10. That comes out evenly to be 2 plus or minus 12 over 10. Now I'm going to finish this one up in the next video.